Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we'll be taking a look at the Tomica Hyper Rescue Drivehead 01 Sonic Interceptor. And I know what some of you are thinking, hey, didn't you review this toy already? Well, sort of. Basically, Tomica put out as part of their normal Tomica Hyper series a version of the Sonic Interceptor that was a little bit more basic. It came with less accessories. And that was just kind of part of the toy line. Now what they've done is they've gone and they've created a cartoon to put behind it, and they've kind of redesigned some of the figures and re-released them, and that's what this is. So I am going to compare the two during this video, but just taking a quick look at the packaging here, you can see kind of the anime design of the robot here, and then this is the anime character that is the pilot of the Sonic Interceptor. I believe his name is Go, if I remember correctly. Here you have a little pic on the bottom, pretty much same picture there on the top. On the side here, it just kind of shows the little car, the larger trailer, robot. This side details out the three accessories that you get. This shows all three of the robots. All three of these have normal Hyper Series versions as well as Drivehead versions, because that's the name of the show. Here is, again, just showing you with the accessories and everything. And then there's also the Sonic Jet, which you can combine, which we'll take a look at in a separate video. Now, you may recognize the helicopter because I've already reviewed that as well. Basically, every robot has a smaller vehicle that it can kind of merge with to get a different form. All 6 of these toys were already released as part of the normal Tomica Hyper series. And I have some of them. I think I actually have all 3 of the support vehicles from the old series. They're not very different as far as I can tell. It's like a little bit of color difference. Like I know on the helicopter, the black parts are like a dark gray, so very similar, and some stickers that are different. So I didn't bother to rebuy any of the support vehicles, but I did rebuy this robot, the Sonic Interceptor. I actually did not have the Rescue Backdraft, so I decided just to get the Drivehead version because it comes with more accessories. And the White Hope I already have, and I've already reviewed from the normal Hyper Series line. But I'm toying with the idea of picking up the Drivehead version of the White Hope because in the anime, the White Hope has 2 different cars because there's 2 different drivers, one male and one female. So they have 2 different cars, and depending on which one is driving, the head is actually different. It's kind of a more female head. I think the eyes are pink. I don't know, however best you can draw a female robot. But in any case, I'm toying with the idea of picking that one up simply to get the second car. I think it has pretty much all the same accessories. I think just the stickers are different because they have kind of Drivehead logos and things like that. But for the most part, these toys are very similar. If you have the original Hyper Series versions, you know, the only difference really is like color scheme, slightly, stickers, and accessories. But we'll get into all that as we take a look at the toy itself. So let's go ahead, get out of the box, and take a closer look. So here is the Sonic Interceptor. It is basically the same robot as all the others. If you've seen any of my previous Tomica Hyper Series reviews, you do have the car here in the center, which you can lift out, and that is where the head of the robot resides. And then you can just pop it right back in. You can push down the siren pieces and take the arms off, and that's because some of the support vehicles have new arm attachments that you can put on. And then, of course, you can pop the legs off as well for the same reason. They have other leg accessories. And the cool thing about this toy line is each one of these robots has its own support vehicle that kind of matches the color scheme of the robot. But you can mix and match. If you want to put the jet on the White Hope, or if you want to put the fire engine pieces on this guy, you can. You can mix and match. You could even do, you know, one leg of one leg of the other. You know, the possibilities are kind of endless as far as that goes. Accessories that he comes with, this is his kind of siren boomerang or blade. He can hold it in his hand like this and kind of use it as a sword, or I think he throws it kind of like a boomerang and it goes around and comes back. He has this revolver, which is kind of a bummer. You can really see the screw on this side, but on this side it looks very good. So you can go ahead, and he can also fit that in his hand. Pretty basic, but I think it looks good. And then the third accessory is this large, like, one handcuff. It's kind of cool though. You can push it through and it will click, and then, you know, you have to keep pushing it through until you eventually get it through to open it up again. So it is like real handcuffs in that way. I think that's kind of neat. And you can see there's a sticker here. So if you come around to the back, there's this piece, and I'll take this off just to show you how it works. This is just so you can clip that right on there. And the cool thing is you can actually pull this piece out. You pull it out a little bit, and then you can turn it. So if you want to put it at like a 45-degree angle, which kind of looks cool if you have it like this, and then you want to, you know, have it like that on his back. The other thing you can do is, if you want, you can put the siren straight on his back. And these ports are also going to be used for other combinations with support vehicles and things like that. So, but for the most part, you're going to put this piece back on here. You can take this, pop that on there, and then, like I said, if you want to put it at a 45-degree angle, you can then take the siren piece and plug it into that if you like. And then you can actually also plug the gun in right there. So you can get all of the accessories on his back. It does make him a little top heavy, so just be aware of that. You know, you can see he's already leaning back a little bit just because of that extra weight. But he looks good. I like the look of that. I think the 45-degree angle really helps. I think that looks a lot better. If you really wanted, you could turn it around and clip it on this way. If you like a more traditional kind of sword on the back look. But I think that's really cool. I really like all three accessories that you get with this. Articulation-wise, you have a nice ratchet there. You have a kind of swivel in the shoulder up here, inside the shoulder here. Then you have this like ball joint for an elbow. But you also have a 90-degree elbow like normal here in the actual forearm. The wrist really doesn't have any articulation because it just folds into the forearm for the transformation, which we'll get into. And then you have nice tight ratchet here in the hip. Not really any waist articulation. You have a thigh swivel. Do you have? Yeah, you have 90 degrees in the knee. Then you have a little bit of ankle play. I think there's technically a ball joint in there, so you can go a little bit to the side. Like if you want to stretch out his legs and then kind of bend them in. But again, he's not very stable when you do that, but you can do it. So I like this guy a lot. I like the stickers as well. First, I guess, first I'll bring in the other one so we can take a look at a comparison between the two. So here, this is the original Tomica Hyper Series Sonic Interceptor, and this is the drive head Sonic Interceptor. Now, at first glance, you can see that they look mostly similar, but obviously there are some pretty big differences. I like the head sculpt on this one a lot better. And just to show you that, I'm going to take the cars out so we can get a really nice close-up of the head sculpts. I just think this looks more like a Transformer, whereas this just kind of looks... This kind of gives me more of a Gundam feel. But I really like the added, like, siren, I don't know, horns, for lack of a better term. I think that's a much cooler design for the head there. Now, just going ahead and putting the heads back in, you can see the cars themselves are different. Definitely much more of a, I don't know what's the term I want to look for what I'm using here, but more of a sports car, I guess. You have a nice spoiler on the back. Whereas this could just be kind of like a utility vehicle. I definitely like the look of this car better as well. So the car and the head sculpt are better for the newer drive head version, in my opinion. Now, of course, you could mix and match them if you wanted to. Let me zoom back out here. You could put the new drive head in there. Put the old one in here. All the cars are cross-compatible. And then you just pop the head out. So... I think that's cool. Again, it just gives more playability. If you want to switch all the cars around, you obviously can. Otherwise, you're going to notice mostly sticker changes. The robot is pretty much exactly the same. The articulation points are all the same. Mostly paint differences. You can see there's some white here. And then on the feet is white as opposed to a silver and mostly blue. You have kind of a gunmetal gray as opposed to a white for plastic for the hips and thighs. Same thing for the kind of bicep area. From the side, they look pretty similar. This piece obviously is missing. I think there is a... No, I don't think there's a piece for this one. But otherwise, they're very similar. The other big thing to note is the accessories. You can see right here that this guy comes with the light bar. This guy also comes with the light bar, but he comes with the gun and the handcuff. So, original Sonic Interceptor, no gun, no handcuff, just the light bar. So, in my opinion, if you're going to pick one of these, I would definitely go with the drive head release, because I think the color scheme works a little bit better. I like the head sculpt and the car design better, and the extra accessories are really nice. Now, as far as price goes, I think you're looking at somewhere around like 300 to 500 yen difference. So you're talking like $3 to $5 more for the better version. So I think it's definitely worth it in that respect. You get more accessories, better head sculpt, better car design. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason the plastic on this one feels a little bit more durable. I think it's just my imagination. Maybe because the white pieces seem more fragile to me, and this has the gunmetal gray, which just seems more sturdy. But I don't know. I just feel like this one's a little bit better toy as far as quality goes. But again, it's probably mostly in my mind. There's nothing wrong with the old Sonic Interceptor. And it might even get to the point where if this cartoon takes off, these might be on clearance around various sites. So you'll have to take a look at that. But only time will tell in that kind of situation. But I definitely think if you're just straight up comparing the two, I think the drive head release is better for the reasons that I've already stated. But you know, this guy's not bad. It's kind of funny. It's like if there was a fleet of these, I feel like this would be the commander and these would be the like soldiers, like the underlings. Like he would have, if you were going to have like 10 of these and this would be the general, and then he could lead a fleet of them. That actually might be cool. But in any case, I'm going to go ahead and get into the transformation. Now again, if you've watched any of my Tomica Hyper Series reviews for these robots, the transformations are all the same. Fold the forearms. Yeah, fold the fists into the forearms. That's what you do. You can go ahead and pop the head down very simply like that. You're going to bring this in, and this tab here on the back, right where my finger is, and I'll get closer so you can actually see it, because that will be helpful. You can see the tab hole right there where my thumb is. So you're going to rotate these around, and you can see here that there's a tab on the forearm that's going to peg into this hole. So as you're rotating all this around, then this will also peg into the side, just like that. So you're really just going to fold it in, compress it against the body. It's very intuitive, makes sense, very simple to do. So that's pretty much the whole top section. Very simple there. You're going to fold up the feet, just like that. You can fold up these knee guards. They'll just press against the leg. Then you're going to pull this part down, and it's going to rotate all the way around. I think I'm going to have to pull, you're going to have to pull off this piece. Bring this all the way around. And that's going to clip in up top there. Oh, my arms came unpegged, as they do sometimes. So you're going to bring this down, fold the knee like 90 degrees, and then you'll see here, there's a pretty large tab right there, which will peg into that peg hole on the thigh. So peg that in, do the same thing with the other leg. Now, not everything doesn't always stay super pegged together, but it's okay because it's not a vehicle mode that's going to come apart super easily, because it really just kind of folds itself in on itself and lays down. But yeah. So now you're going to take this piece and you're going to plug it into these two peg holes here on the back of the legs. And then you can go ahead and just drop this whole bit right back on top of there. So here you have the vehicle mode. It's not super complex, but I think it gets the job done. One of my other videos, I commented that it's not really like a super disguised type vehicle, but someone in the comments pointed out, and I thought it was really smart. They're like, these are service vehicles. They're used for rescue. They're not disguised. They're not Transformers trying to hide on Earth. So I was like, yeah, that's a good point. They don't really need them to be, like a robot that turns into a realistic looking car. It's really just functionality. That's what they need it for. So I thought that was a good point. I apologize. I don't remember who said that, but it was a very good point. I like that a lot. They just need to be able to get the robot to lie down so the wheels can work, so they can get it quickly from one spot to the other. But it makes a pretty decent little transport here. Rolls fairly well, not super amazingly. And again, you can always pop the car off if you want to have, one follow the other, something like that. I really, really do like the design of this car. I think they did such a better job with the drive head release. Love the design of this car. The other thing is, you can see there's just a very tiny little tab right here, and then there's a hole on the bottom of the car. So you pop it in that big tab hole in the back, and I apologize that the light's not cooperating. Do I have a secondary light? Oops, I'm dropping it. There we go. Tab hole right back there. So you just kind of gently rock it in and then push it down. Very simple, snaps right into place. But yeah, I mean, it gets to the point where there's all the accessories, there's kind of a lot of stuff just hanging out on top of here. I think it might look a little bit better just like this. Or you can take this off and put on just the light bar, which I kind of think is the best look. Now, obviously, if you do this, you're not going to have storage for all the other accessories, but I think that kind of makes the most sense as far as a cohesive look. And this is what the original Sonic Interceptor looked like because it didn't have the other accessories. But it gives you lots of options, which I like. If you want to have everything on here so you can keep track of it very simply, you do have that option for storage for all of the accessories in this mode. So I really like this release a lot. Like I said earlier, if you had to choose, if you don't have any yet, and you had to choose between the drive head version and the original Tomica Hyper Series version, I would definitely go with the drive head version. They've made some really nice improvements. I really like the design of the smaller car. I really like the new head sculpt design. I love the extra accessories that you get. And I think the color scheme that they did, where they replaced the white with the gunmetal gray, just works a little bit better for the figure as well. And like I said, I can't put my finger on it, but it feels a little bit more sturdy as well. So all in all, for the like $3 to $5 difference, I would definitely recommend picking this up over the original release. But like I said, if you don't care about accessories, it might come to the point where the original release gets clearanced because they're making way for the new product. And if you could scoop that up for like 20 bucks, then I would say, yeah, absolutely. I believe these go for somewhere in the area of like $30 to $33 before shipping. So they're a little bit expensive for what you get. But if the other version would get really cheap on clearance, then I would say maybe that's worth it. Again, it's really going to be your mileage will vary situation because it's what's important to you. Of course, they came out with all the drive head stuff right after I bought the older ones. It was like they knew. As soon as I picked up the older releases, they're like, oh, here's all these new releases with much better accessories and better designs. And I was like, But I've watched a couple episodes of the anime, and I actually think it's pretty good. I like it a lot. And it made me want to pick these up even more, especially this one, because I really love the design of the Interceptor with the new car, and especially the head and all the extra accessories and things like that. So I think it's a really fun release. I recommend picking it up. I think the line is a lot of fun if you want to get some of the support vehicles as well. I've reviewed the White Hope and the Helicopter, which is its support vehicle, already, and if you want to go ahead on my channel and take a look at those. I still haven't decided if I'm going to get the drive head releases of them. Probably definitely not the Helicopter, but possibly the White Hope. And if I get it, I'll review it for you guys, let you know how it's different and everything like that. But I'm having a good time with this line so far. The Tomica Hyper Series has been a lot of fun, and they're just good toys. I really like them a lot. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Tomica Hyper Rescue Drivehead 01 Sonic Interceptor. It's a bit of a mouthful. And I don't know where they came up with the term drive head. I think it's weird too. I assume because the car you drive becomes the head of the robot, but it's still kind of a weird name. In any case, the toys are a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.